Hey everybody, KC here. So it has been more than 30 years since a company called Peapod was started out in Chicago by two brothers, Andrew Parkinson and Thomas Parkinson. And, Peapod was, boy, were they ahead of the game when it came to e-grocery. And it's gone through all sorts of permutations and changes. Ownership, it's now owned by Ahold Delhaize. Um, but I've always been impressed by the fact that the Parkinsons they saw the future in a way that so many companies didn't. They were years ahead of Amazon. I mean, it's just extraordinary. The Parkinsons are no longer involved with Peapod, but they have a new company called Sifter, which you can check out at sifter.shop, Sifter. And I had the other day the great good fortune to spend some time via Zoom with Andrew Parkinson and Thomas Parkinson, in which we talked about a lot of stuff. So part one, which you're going to see today, is a conversation about Sifter. It's highly focused on health and wellness, and it is designed to help and bolster the health and wellness credentials of traditional retailers. Really interesting idea. Part two, which I'll post tomorrow, is sort of a broader conversation. We talk some about Sifter, we talk about Peapod, we talk about innovation in general, and we also, we talk about the state of e-grocery today. And that's going to be a fascinating conversation. I hope you'll come back for it. But right now, part one, Andrew Parkinson, Thomas Parkinson, talking about their new business, Sifter. Enjoy. Andrew, Thomas, welcome to Morning Newsbeat. I'm jazzed to have you. I don't get many actual pioneers on Morning Newsbeat, so I am thrilled to have you, especially because now you're back in the game. So you're starting something called Sifter. So give me the elevator pitch on Sifter.
Well, first of all, Kevin, thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
As I said, I read your newsletter every day, and I love it, and I love your insights. So thanks a lot for
It
doing
means
that.
a lot. I have no idea.
So Sifter's really an evolution of our past. You know, we started Peapod, where we learned a ton about online grocery, and then inside Peapod, we founded a company called Itemaster because we weren't satisfied with the quality of the data, the product data we were getting, so that we can enable our consumers, our shoppers, to sort and filter by nutrition. Kind of the vision of Itemaster was to make that data available to all retailers so that they could do that on their online platforms. But it was very difficult to scale that up and get all the brands to participate and to verify their data. So we decided, our passion being trying to help consumers find products that meet their health and wellness goals or medical situation. We decided to start Sifter, which really will allow consumers or shoppers go in, find products, discover new products that meet their specific dietary preferences. And that could be an allergen or a matching to a medical issue or a drug that they might take. And then once they find it on Sifter, we point them to the retailer where they can buy it, either online or they can go in store as well as to buy it.
Everybody talks about health and wellness. Was there white space in there that you said, "Ooh, that's something that's not being done"? That's a need the consumer has that nobody else is satisfying, at least not to the degree you thought they should have?
For sure. Well, first of all, to back up, the health and wellness crisis out there today is just tremendous. There's 100 million people with diabetes or pre-diabetes. Similar amounts, I think it's close to that for people that are obese or have some kind of chronic issue or allergen. And the real issue that we saw was being able to provide accurate recommendations to consumers on what products would meet their need, kind of a food as medicine approach. And what didn't really exist was first the core label data, to ingest that so that you could then run your algorithms against the products and tag them against all these specific diets, ingredients, allergens, drugs that are being taken, medical drugs, not
Right.
others. So there was a huge, white space there, just in being able to match the data to the diet, and that's really where we started. And then Thomas, I think, he's done 8 different versions of Peapod with all the different technologies. So we felt we could bring together both the online platform technology and merge it with our data capabilities and understanding of that whole data market, of how to bring accurate, verified, complete data together to match it against these specific diets.
How many
Yeah.
items are you in, are you at this point is part of your mix, if that's the right word?
Sure. I mean, right now our global mix is about 100,000 products, and we would have a lot more if we could get the accurate data. So even though we have these data providers, it still comes in with an unbelievable amount of inaccuracy. And also the images have to be perfect too. So when you're on Sifter, you'll notice that the quality of the images are fantastic, because people also want to see exactly what the product looks like.
Yeah.
So that's been a challenge for us, is making sure that the data is super clean before it runs through our algorithms.
Is there a qualification that you have to be part of the mix? I mean, if I'm going to give you an absurd example, but let's suppose, I mean, Oreos are not healthy by any standard. But if they were, if a product like that is not considered a healthy product still could fit into whatever the algorithm happens to be in one of the columns in one of the silos, could that be included?
Yeah, for sure. First of all, just to add to what Thomas said, we're focused on food products and supplements, things that you ingest.
Right.
And we do have a criteria. Basically, it has to be complete data for the core label data, and it has to be accurate and verified. The verification part is a little harder, meaning we're trying to get brands to come in, make sure that it is accurate, because they hopefully care, because we're selling their product.
How do you verify? Do you have to create an infrastructure to do that?
Well, we're actually connecting with brands. We're in the middle of doing that right now, emailing out and having them look at our platform. The problem we had with Itemaster was brands didn't see how we were selling their product. So you didn't get a lot of cooperation on verification. When you go into Sifter as a brand, you see, wow, not only are they selling my product, they're enabling us to tell our story, our brand story, which we can talk about later. But so there's more interest on the brand side to come in and actually verify. On the verification, what we're doing is, or on the algorithms, is once you have the complete data, we're running it through and just matching against ingredients, nutrition, and claims. So we're what we call non-judgmental. We're not recommending products. We're just letting the science do the talking. So if it has so much salt or sugar, it may or may not qualify for high sodium, low sugar, high sugar, or sugar, no sugar added. We just let the science do the talking. So for Oreos, or actually a good example I know for sure is like Cheerios.
Okay.
Cheerios only makes 4 kind of positive health claims on their package, low cholesterol, gluten-free.
Mm-hmm.
But there's actually 51 positive attributes, and we call them SIF tags, with 51 different attributes that are really positive for the consumer, like good for osteoporosis, low sugar. It goes on and on and on.
Doesn't react to antibiotics or any kinds of medications that you're on.
Right. So we just present that to the consumer based on our tagging, and we don't make judgments on whether this product is good for your diet or not. We just let the science do that talking.
Does that mean you're getting into the area of making claims that could have you dealing with federal regulators who are saying that you're making claims?
So some of our attributes are based on claims that they make, that
Right.
the package makes, but others are derived claims, and all of those are derived from the FDA, USDA, NIH rules and regulations. So we have a chief nutritionist, Judy Saybold, that's part of the company. She's been in the industry. I don't know if you've met her, but she's been in the industry for 30 years. She's the one that's created a lot of the programs like the Healthy Aisle label programs.
Right.
At Stop and
Uh,
Shop. Yep.
Has her master's in nutrition, and so she knows all the regulations, and our algorithms make sure that we follow all of those regulations. And we have a whole QA process where she has a team of nutritionists going through and making sure that we're correct.
So in essence, if a product has XYZ in it, and let's say XYZ has been defined by federal regulators as helping people deal with osteoporosis, you're saying XYZ product A has XYZ. XYZ has been certified by the government as helping osteoporosis without actually saying that this product will help you will fight osteoporosis.
Yeah, like if
Right.
if vitamin D is good for bone health,
Right.
and that's been substantiated, then we can make that.
And you know, a lot of these algorithms are really complicated because my tech team is the one that's designing them. And so, you know, we have one for gout, and gout, it's all about the ingredients of the products, and the list, I mean, that we have to go through and compare is unbelievable. And these, you know, we have to run every product through these algorithms. So when we add a new algorithm, it has to churn and burn for quite some time in order to assign the SIP tag to the product.
Yeah, it was interesting reading the different medical issues that you list on your website. I do think you should add one, which is we're 10 months into a pandemic and my diet has gone to hell.
Yeah.
Well, we joked today about the amnesty diet just for the Super Bowl, where you can eat anything you want. Yeah. But like we are adding one, Lyme disease right now. We're working on that one because my daughter had it, and I said, you know, there's a very specific diet, and a lot of people have Lyme disease, so let's create that diet. And so that's one that Judy's working on right now. So
you know, another one, and I don't think you had it there, is and I think of you said that the reason I think of it is because you said that your daughter having had Lyme disease. I can remember talking to a guy who is the head of nutrition for, and I'm drawing a blank on the name. It was a small chain of hamburger fast food places out west, and they went into their thing and designed a diet specifically for kids with eating disorders, because they realized that because he had a daughter who had an eating disorder, and they tried to figure out how do we develop a program that will get them the nutrition that they need to get when we know they're dealing with all these other issues. So that just occurs to me now because you said that. So
we're adding the DASH diet right now. So we're going to stay on the popular ones, but I think also the niche ones are really, like Lyme disease is just so niche, but it's so important for people who have it. Yeah. So we think that'll be a great way to sort of work our way into a lot of organizations.
So, okay, so we figured out why the consumer needs it, and we figured out what you're getting from the manufacturer. But we've left out the big piece of it, right? Which is the retailer. Because the whole notion of this is that you are actually this is designed to support retailers. You're not selling these products to consumers. You're providing the information.
A marketplace.
Module. I'm sorry?
A marketplace.
Yeah, that people will get to through a retailer. I mean, it's not an independent marketplace, right? I mean, how does it?
You know what I always, and this is not a good consumer term, but I refer to it as a portal. Mm-hmm. Meaning consumers can come in from anywhere, set up their profile, or sift by their diets. So do the shopping on Sifter, and then we send them to retailers for the acquisition of the product, which benefits the retailer because they're going to get that customer. Plus, they're able to provide these customers a way to sort of shop through health and wellness and personalized nutrition. So
play that out for me. So I go on. I live in Connecticut. I'm on Sifter. I pick 10 products I need because I'm trying to drop 15 pounds. And so I check them. I choose them on Sifter. Then what happens? How does that connect me? Who does it connect me with?
Then let's say you want to buy them from Walmart today, which is on there, or Amazon. You'll just drop them into the Walmart cart or the Amazon cart. with Walmart, you'll actually be able to take the, and I guess with Whole Foods too, you'll be able to take the Sifter app to the store and buy the products there. You can be able to scan the products at store level so that you can see whether it meets your profile or not. But we're automating it into the online e-commerce platforms so that it's just simple for the consumer to drop their items.
Well, that was my next question. Is there the ability for a retailer to actually add a Sifter component to their websites so that I go on the, let's say Amazon or Walmart, pick a retailer. I can go on their website. If I have these concerns, I can access Sifter through them and it automatically goes into my basket.
Right. So I don't want to get too technical for the audience, but that's where we publish our APIs. These are ways to talk to our backend and for you to integrate Sifter into your e-commerce engines. So that's one of the things that we'll be doing with more sophisticated companies that can actually do that. So, for instance, Ahold Delhaize, they have a very sophisticated technical team. So does Walmart, so does Kroger. So, we do envision a lot of retailers incorporating Sifter functionality, our aisles essentially that you can curate by your profile. So
you're not an issue that I'm sort of sensitive to, but you're not positioning yourselves where you're going to end up competing with retailers. You actually need the retailers because you're not fulfilling anything yourselves.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, Andrew and I sold products for 30 years through Peapod, and we don't really ever want to physically touch and sell another product. We just want to pass the order to the retailer because that's their business.
Is there a possibility? As I was looking at the interface, I was thinking, boy, if I were a retailer and I were doing business with you and I realized that I wanted to have, and maybe I'm getting ahead of things here, and I wanted to really make a statement in terms of health and wellness, one of the things I'd want to do is, I'm going to put up a Sifter end cap. So when people came in the store, they could actually start to make those choices there. Let's suppose they're not, that not everybody's shopping online, not everybody's using a mobile app. I mean, I would think there would be a potential for an in-store component of this as well.
For sure, I think there is. So
am I getting ahead of the bit?
No. I mean, it's a step process for us too. Meaning, our first approach is to bring the retailer into Sifter so we can just drop items into their cart. With that, we get their feed of what they sell by store. The consumer could then take the app into the store and find products as well that work. So there is a huge in-store component. But then stage 2 would probably be the retailers could ingest our aisle or a Sifter store or a health and wellness store inside their e-commerce application or their mobile app. And it would just be powered by us, but it would be their store.
How do you think?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And you notice there's no pricing, and that's very intentional because we want it to be about the product and not comparing retailers.